I'm in need of a new sketchbook. So I thought, why not design this one myself? My ideal sketchbook would be reversible and would have two front covers. I often bounce around from one idea or drawing style to another, and this way I could have multiple themes going on in the same book. I could start fresh from either side. So my plan is to create two related but different covers. Today I'm going to walk you through my process of designing my own unique custom sketchbook, from an idea to the finished bound book. So let's get to it. Okay, so I just finished this watercolor painting. I'm very happy with it. It's a place that's charming and poetic and happy and peaceful at the same time. A little cabin tucked away in autumn woods, surrounded by flowers, color, and life. I love its energy. I think it would make a perfect sketchbook cover. But as much as I loved the color, I started wondering, what would this exact scene feel like if I stripped the vibrancy away? What story would the light, shadows, and textures tell by themselves? That's where the idea for the second cover came from. A total recreation of the scene, but just in pencil. The two images would be two sides of the same story. One told with flowing, vibrant watercolor, and the other with quiet, patient language of graphite. And I think it would be cool if those two different worlds lived together in the same physical object. Alright, the next step is a big one, creating the pencil drawing that will become our second cover. Since this is going to be the back cover, or rather our other front cover, the image needs to be identical to the original watercolor. This is totally key to the concept. When I flip the book over, I want the cabin to be facing the same way, the trees to look the same, like I'm just seeing the scene through a different artistic filter. I started with a light sketch and now I'm building up the values. This is where the translation from color to black and white really happens. I'm starting at the top of the page and will be gradually moving down to avoid smudging graphite with my hand. One of the things I love about pencil is the control you get over texture. The watercolor is all about flow and soft edges. With pencil, I can get specific. I can convey individual leaves if I want to. Not that I want to, because if I do that at this scale, the whole drawing will probably just fall apart. It's a balance between being precise to convey realistic textures and being generic to keep the composition of the scene. Drawing is a much slower, more meditative process than painting. Every stroke is a conscious choice. While I'm drawing here, I wanted to take a moment to express my gratitude to you for watching this video. Whether you've already subscribed or just stumbled upon this video, thank you for being a part of my YouTube journey. I think that my content creator experience so far can't be called successful by any YouTube standard. But I've had so much fun with it that I don't regret a single second I spent on it. So thank you for your time. And if you're like me into this kind of stuff, creative ideas and making traditional art, I hope to see you here again. A couple of hours of drawing and it's finally done. After I turned off the camera and took a look from the distance, I noticed that the tree canopies looked a little flat because I left them lighter than the background. So I decided to add some more shading to them. This way they balance all the detail at the bottom of the page a little better. And we have our second piece of the puzzle. A different medium, but the same scene. Alright, now it's time to bring these two worlds together. The next step is getting them scanned and ready to go for the actual sketchbook design. I'm obviously not going to create the sketchbook myself. So today I'm using a company called Denik. They make all sorts of notebooks. But they also have a service that allows you to create completely custom notebooks. They're pricey, but the unique thing about them is that you can order just one single copy if you want. I uploaded my watercolor painting and dropped it into the front cover template. The editor shows you exactly where the trim lines are, so you can get your art perfectly centered. The pencil drawing goes on the back cover, but it's rotated. So no matter which way you hold the book, it looks and feels like a front cover. The editor lets you customize the spine too, but I'm keeping it simple. The whole design part only takes a few minutes, which is pretty awesome. It also gives you a 3D preview of the design. Once I'm happy with how both images are placed, I just add it to my cart and order. And now we'll wait for the present to show up in the mail. It's here. The package from Denik arrived. The feeling of holding something that you designed yourself, well, it's pretty exciting. All right, let's open this thing up. Cool. The cover has this really nice soft velvety matte finish that makes the colors of the watercolor just pop. The print actually looks just like the original. And now for the moment of truth. Let's flip it over. Here it is, the other side, the pencil drawing. All the shading, the texture, the fine lines, it's all here. It looks pretty cool. And it's neat how flipping it over makes a brand new book, a totally different creative starting point. And as a bonus, I also got a tiny baby sketchbook for quick thoughts on the go. I now have two sketchbooks that are perfectly and uniquely mine. One side is for vibrant ideas, for splashes of color and bold moves. The other is for quieter moments, for notes and studies in shadow and light. Thanks so much for hanging out with me on this project. I hope it inspired you to think about how you can bring your creative ideas to life. If you like this video, a thumbs up would be awesome. Please don't forget to subscribe. And now, if you'll excuse me, I have 2 new sketchbooks to go start drawing in. So I'll see you next time. Bye!